Chris Hansen here of Hansen vs. Predators. To catch a predator and have a seat with Chris Hansen, I'm going to need all of you to have a seat right over there because I've been going through some transcripts and there's something you need to know. You're watching TTFT. I'll be watching as well.
My name is Jayla Royal, and I play Bree, and I choose victory over violence. Violence in school is never cool. Victory over violence is the way to go. One more time. If you choose to bring lead to school, use a number 2 pencil. And if you plan on shooting in school, shoot for the star. Be cool. In school, choose victory over violence.
I need your help. Anything. Please send something. Send anything. I don't know how much time I have. Just please. I just had a little bit more to say. I don't even know what. I didn't have much time to prepare. If I could, a few more. You're done. Help! Don't you have work to do?
What the fuck is up, internets? Welcome back to another episode of That's the
Fucking Trailer.
Let's go.
Not just another episode. The episode. This is our 1-year anniversary special. It was supposed to happen last month when it was our 1-year anniversary. But to celebrate our 1-year anniversary, we decided to just get together and play a game of Blockbuster. And
Blackbuster.
Not shoot it.
Blackbuster. No, the tape don't lie. Blackbuster?
What are you saying?
It's not what the fuck I'm saying. It's what you said. You literally just said Blackbuster.
I did not.
I fucking swear you did.
I'll roll it back. Play a game of Blockbuster.
And with that being said, to celebrate our 1-year anniversary, what we decided to do was play a game that actually Blockbuster never wants to play again. It's called Don't Laugh Netflix Out the Room when they come to you with an offer.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what we did. That's what we did last month, and we decided to delay this episode to give ourselves a little break and to reward ourselves for putting this time in for a year. So, what the hell is this episode? You just finished watching I'm Gonna Kill Someone this Friday. That's the last feature film that Royal and I created. We've spent a year here talking about and appreciating the works of other filmmakers. We thought a good way to commemorate our the 1 year of the show would be to finally, we've been putting hints out there that we also make movies. So we're going to give our film the same treatment, similar treatment, as we've given to other movies this year.
We found it not robbery to let you guys know, listen, we're not going to be one of those assholes on the internet, choose your favorite subscriber who bought most of his subscribers, or their subscribers. What we do with these films, and as far as talking about them and letting people in on, people always say, listen, who are you to judge what someone else does with a film? You want to talk about films, why don't you make one? Well, we didn't just make one. That was years ago. We made the one. And it really took a lot of talented people, a lot of time, and a lot of effort. So, like you said, we're going to take it through the conundrum, and hopefully you're in the live chat telling us how much we suck.
Yeah. Yeah. In this episode, we'll be talking to cast and crew from the film, as well as we have a very constructive conversation with a film reviewer who took one of the only reviewers that had an issue with the film. So we wanted to bring her specifically on, Lady Shasha from. She has a channel on YouTube that she reviews films. What Did I Just Watch? Check that out. It's a really cool conversation coming up in the episode. Again, along with cast and crew, we'll also be giving you some facts about the movie and everything else. But before we move on, just wanted to say thanks to everybody that has made this a successful year. We have, at the time of recording this, have just surpassed. We're rapidly approaching 2,000 subscribers and have just surpassed 5,000 hours watched. Literally last night, September 25th, I clicked the option.
What? I wanted you, because you just did the algorithm of what they need to know. I know what you're getting ready to say, but for all you people out there who want to start a YouTube channel and do these things, what he's getting ready to say next is what you need to do to be what we like to call monetized in 3, 2.
Yeah, so the YouTube partner program is what we got into we got into this to make money. Let's be honest. We decided we want to do something authentic that we really appreciate in real life. If we're going to be working on something, it's going to be something we enjoy. So that's how we landed on this show. But it's a lot of work. It's a lot of time, and YouTube is. I mean, it's a relentless beast to work against to get what they want you to have in order to join their YouTube partner program. You got to reach 4,000 hours. You got to reach 1,000 subscribers. And we just hit that landmark and submitted the channel for review to make sure that we're not promoting terrorist activity or child endangerment or anything crazy like that. In the next 30 days, if everything goes as planned, we should be accepted into the YouTube partner program, start monetizing the channel, and we could start getting some money back for all the time we put in. And it's crazy because when we first started the channel, our goal was to do this for a year and see where it went to decide if we wanted to keep going on, if it was going to prove lucrative, or not even lucrative, but just rewarding in any kind of way.
But what the crazy part is, not to cut you off, is that, as I cut you off, is that this is not the only project that we've done. It's not like this, like, oh, we set the, because I want them to see the full spectrum. We didn't just sit down one day, meet each other and be like, hey man, you're pretty cool, I'm pretty cool, you're director, editor, I'm a director, actor. Why don't we make a show about film? No, that's not how it happened. This has to be what and we're literally not bullshitting. This has to be what, like our almost 30th or 40th project together. Mm-hmm. In some type of way.
Well, what's crazy is that when we first started, almost everybody that we told our plan to, they were like, oh, well, be prepared to be around for a lot longer than a year because you are not getting monetized, that you're not reaching 1,000 subscribers and those watch hours in 1 year. Well, would like to say thank you to all of you for the motivation, because there's anything that nobody will tell me is what I can't do. So
love it.
Here we are. Thank you very much for making it a very successful year. For those that are coming into this episode from watching I'm Gonna Kill Someone this Friday, thanks for checking that out. Hope you enjoyed it. And we're about to dive all up into that shit with We Do Our Research.
This is Greta Biago, and I'm standing in front of the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, where soon new details will be given on the abduction of Durden Godfrey. You may remember a few weeks ago a chilling video that we aired where Mr. Godfrey, who has been missing since Friday, July 18th, was being held against his will and crying out for help. His family and law enforcement have asked for any help in the whereabouts of Mr. Godfrey or in identifying the man who's on the video. If you have any information, please let us know.
And speaking of We Do Our Research, here's everything you need to know about Kill. Kill was released August 9th. 2018 to a sold-out theater with over 400 in attendance.
What were we working against on that particular evening?
The Jacksonville Jaguars, who at this point still suck.
And a pretty...
Hurricane?
Yeah, the movie began with a hurricane and ended
with
a
movie hurricane or an actual hurricane? I just need an excuse to mention Denzel. Go ahead.
Check out the trailer we put together for the to kind of encapsulate everything that happened in the premiere.
And starting in 3, 2.
I'm trying to side with you because obviously, like, you're my dad, so I'm not gonna, like, cut you off. But at the same time, I don't wanna, like, get too close to you because, I mean, you're a scary dude. Oh, yeah, great, Dad. I'll go play great at my baseball game. Please don't hurt me afterwards. I kind of...
I promise if you watch it again and again and again, you could find we litter it with hints that tell you what's going to happen at the end.
I'm Gonna Kill Someone This Friday was written by Durden Godfrey,
Taurean Royal,
and Jared Rush. It was directed by
Durden Godfrey.
Beautiful cinematography by
William Bishop.
It stars a lot of people.
Yes.
Check the IMDb page for everybody that's in it. I can assure you our IMDb page is accurate.
Yes.
But to list a few,
Shade.
Thomas Seidle, Tracy Newman, Camson Alavi, and Mr. Taurean Royal.
And Miss Jayla Royal.
Yes, I had that internal dialogue with myself. Like, do I include her? Or is
Well,
that
I mean, I wanted you to do it internally. I was going to go external.
Okay, yeah. You do it on the inside. I'll do it where it counts.
That's what she said.
We shot I'm Gonna Kill Someone This Friday in September and October of 2017 in just under 2 weeks total production time. It was shot in Jacksonville, Florida, primarily with a few shots, literally 5 seconds of the film. We traveled down to South Florida to shoot. Actually, my daughter and I traveled down to South Florida.
For how many shots? One.
A single shot, a single flashback that if you blinked, you missed it. Budget and income. I am going to, for this, just say what...
that we didn't budge because we didn't have any fucking income. Now let's move.
And we'll just ask, what did you think? Put it in the comments. What do you think we spent on this film, and what do you think it's worth? The first Pennywise, it came out around the time of production, so we created this little teaser to capitalize on that gravy train.
Which is playing in 3, 2.
Wrong movie.
We usually do top 10 facts about the film, but for I'm Gonna Kill Someone This Friday, since we have inside information, we're gonna give you one bonus fact. So here are the top 11 facts about I'm Gonna Kill Someone This Friday.
Number 11, no joke. Murray from Impractical Jokers actually endorsed this film. And if you don't fucking believe us, check it out in not even 3, just 1.
Okay, pause. Guys, it's Murr from the TV show Impractical Jokers. Now, if you know me, you know I love horror movies. I love scary things, of course. I just got wind of this new movie. I have not watched it yet. I just started watching it. It's called I'm Going to Kill Someone This Friday. The title's a little bit on the nose, but bear with me. It might be pretty good. It seems to be pretty exciting right now and pretty scary. It's by a director named Durden Godfrey, which is an awesome name. Guys, check it out. I'm going to watch it tonight. I think you should too. Take care. Bye. Good luck. Don't get too scared.
Yeah, so that was nuts. We had so Murr had a book come out, and he posted this thing on Instagram, and he was like, if you buy this book, if you buy my book, I will I'll record. It was pretty much Cameo before Cameo. It's like, you buy my book, I'll record any message that you want. So you probably think you know where the story is ending from there. So I bought the book, and then I sent him this little message to say he liked our movie. That's not what happened. That's what I intended to happen. I sent him, I was like, okay, Murr, this is what I want you to say. You wrote this horror novel, so I want to kind of play off of that. We made a horror film. So if you could say something along the lines of, you know, I'm Murr, I know a little thing or two about horror, and you guys should definitely check out I'm Gonna Kill Someone This Friday. It's great. He responds to me personally and says, this is like, I'm in like the final stretch of editing the film. And he goes, it's like 2:00 in the morning. He's like, so I really want to do this message for you, but I'd like to see the movie first, so I know what I'm
endorsing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I did not expect this. Okay. And so I respond to him, and I'm like, we don't have, it's not really there's not a final cut on it yet. I'm still waiting on the score from Dr. Jones. It's like, but at the same time, like, Murr from Impractical Jokers wants to see the movie. You don't just turn down somebody who is in the inn asking to see your work. Like, people throw things at people like him to try to get their foot in the door. So I called up Jeff, Dr. Jones, doing the score, and I'm like, how quickly can you finish something to get locked down? He's like, he pulled an all-nighter, I pulled an all-nighter. By like 6:00 that morning, had the score, got a good enough first cut together, rendered it out, had it back to Murr. He emails like 2 hours later that he loves it. He sends the message. He bought I see on Teespring, like, oh shit, James Murray bought merchandise. That's so fucking badass. So then I message him like, I see you bought the shirt. Can we get a picture of you in it? He sends a picture. So I haven't got a chance to read his book yet, but it is the best money I have ever spent, because it wasn't like we just got this message that didn't mean anything.
So let me get this straight. To wrap it up, you bought his book and didn't read it, but he saw your film. Kids, buy a book and make a film.
So that was one great thing that happened with the film, but that was among a lot of terrible things. Number 10, The Kill Curse. A bad omen seemingly haunted the film and its production team during and following the making of the film. It became known as the Kill Curse. Hurricane Irma touched land in Jacksonville the week that production was set to begin, rendering the two main locations, the Partridge home and the place where Partridge works downtown, utterly unusable. Actually, the home doesn't even exist anymore. There were also a series of sicknesses, broken down vehicles, and more that seemed to plague members of the cast and crew including right up to the premiere of the film at the downtown Jacksonville Library, where we show up, and the people at the library says, no need to panic or anything, but there's a suspicious package over there, and we have a bomb team coming in to check it out. So straight from the beginning to the end, there was shit going down.
I just really wish that we could have said that there were no kids harmed in the making of this film. But with that being said, number 9, it's a trap. During the trap house scene, executive producer Jared Rush, so concerned by the logistics of the scene, opted to play an extra, passed out on the floor in the house for the entirety of the evening. You want to talk about commitment? That's Dante Gerentard.
And what were the logistics that he was so concerned about?
He was concerned that we were leaving the address that we're currently at and going to another address, and I gave no one the fucking address.
Oh, no.
Okay.
He was concerned about he wanted to be able to claim ignorance if anybody ever asked what happened.
Let me get this straight.
That.
He didn't want to go digging. Number 8.
Greatest of all time. GOAT.
Tez.
Lord Doodle, rest in peace, who played the GOAT. He was consumed by his owners shortly after production wrapped.
We call that jerk.
Number 7, Back to School. The school scenes were filmed at Frank H. Peterson High School, where I graduated from.
Did you?
And many of the students in the scene were current students of Frank H. Peterson's TV production class, and we actually got to work in coordination with Charles Tollington, as I knew him back in the day, Mr. T. He was pretty much like an AD for the school scenes, which was really cool to go back to the school where I took TV production and graduated and work with my TV production teacher on a film with the current class of that school. It was just a surreal experience, not to mention, if you just watch the movie with us, you know what happens in the school. Could you imagine like getting permission to do that from the school you went to?
Not unless I went to Columbine. All right, number 6, Seidle struggles. Thomas Seidle, the star of the film, has been quoted numerous times following production that he still struggles with getting his character of Robert Partridge completely out of his head. And if anyone knows anything about being a method actor, that's something that you have to take serious, because you never know when the demons from the script will become the demons of your life.
Mm-hmm. Number 5, Going Back. The brand name for the sledgehammer used in I'm Gonna Kill Someone This Friday is called Modus. That's not just random. This is a reference to the main characters in my previous film, Never Go Back. Their last name was the Matuskis, and I believe Matuski or Modus was like Latin for against the grain or rebellious or something along those lines. I can't remember.
I thought it stood for must out the usual suspects. So I'm glad you told me that.
Number 4.
Go ahead.
Little One. The brand name for the socks company is Pizzala.
Socks man.
Pizzala is a Yiddish word. It was my first encounter of it was from musician Elliott Smith. This is the name of my photography company. It's also my daughter's nickname. So it's now also the brand of socks that Robert Partridge is tasked with selling.
And now I'm selling myself not to seem like a fucking crazy person, nephromaniac, or whatever the fucking word is, because number 3, nepotism. Godfrey's daughter, which I love, baby Adeline Polanski, can be seen for less than 1 second doing a flashback scene. So when you film students go out there and they say 24 frames per second, I didn't see her 24 times. I saw her once. Love your craft or don't fucking do the film. Number 2, Till Death Do Us Part, and no, we're not married. The wedding that takes place during the climax of the film was a legitimate wedding with the vows and ceremony timed to match with the actual actions of the final scene. Our executive producer, Jared Rush, officiated the wedding of George Twist and Melissa Cooper at Treaty Oak.
Yeah, so here's a little lesson, kids. If you want to shoot somewhere that requires permits and you want to do it safely, but you also can't afford to get a film permit, a lot of parks you can get married in for free. So what we did was we had a wedding. We reserved the park for a wedding to make sure that it would be all ours and that people would know that something was happening there that we were involved with. And then the actual scene that you see in the film, the climactic scene where the death takes place, that was an interpretive art piece that was a part of the wedding, if anybody were to ask.
So to quote Joaquin Phoenix and Tom Phillips, the Joker, it's okay to go werewolf, but no one's gonna go gorilla. Get the fucking permit.
All right, number 1, Jeffrey Paul Soto. Jeffrey Paul Soto, aka Dr. Jones, was my best friend, a frequent collaborator in film and music. We made a few films together, recorded a few albums together, and he was my preferred go-to composer for films I made on my own, including Never Go Back and I'm Gonna Kill Someone This Friday. Both films, made within 2 years of each other, had a central theme of mental illness, and it was actually mental illness that ultimately took Jeff's life on January 11th of 2019, shortly after I'm Gonna Kill Someone This Friday was released. I'm Gonna Kill Someone This Friday was the last film he composed music for, and the score he created was already hauntingly beautiful before the real-life tragedy attached itself to it. This entire episode is actually utilizing the score that Jeff created for Never Go Back and I'm Gonna Kill Someone This Friday, as well as select unreleased tracks that he worked on over the years. And we put together a video memorial montage to honor his life and work. So before we move on to the next segment, please take a moment to remember our very talented friend with us.
Comfort me in your shelter. Lead me from the streets. My path is covered in leaves. Footsteps, bones, and disease. Teach me to weather the storms. Guide me like a father to his son. Hunger, feed me the truth. I'm a predator, caged and confused. Unchain me from a world that's lost its way. Bravery, hide this down on my face. Damn me, these words taste like blood. Letters to leaves, set me free. From this love.
We're going to go ahead and sign off. So say goodnight.
Good night.
All right, bye, everybody. And I guess just to make sure, I'm not a douchebag and I'm not a loser, right?
Never.
Yeah. So later. Later, dudes. Peace out, bras.
And with that being said, before we move on, and one thing you may not remember is, and I actually know you remember it, is that I don't know when I'm going to leave Earth, but I can hope that I did one thing that Dr. Jones did. He created a sound that does not exist from an instrument that did not exist. So I leave this Earth, I hope I do something that didn't exist before I got here.
Yeah, I believe he called it the modus, and it was from a piece of wood that he found somewhere, I can't remember where, and he attached a he attached a guitar string to it, and then figured out a way to plug it into an amp, and then used a violin, what's it called, a staff or whatever a violin bow to make these. So I'm Gonna Kill Someone This Friday has unique sounds that come from an instrument that literally didn't exist before the score was composed.
And that's what I call being an artist. Now, let's get to talking during the movie, which you better not ever fucking do if Mr. Royal's in the theater.
Yeah, so we're going to talk, as promised, to some of the cast and crew of the film. Funny fucking thing. We've been doing this, as we said, for a year. And we've reached out to so many people that we love to work with. And it's always, pretty much the same thing. Like, hey, we're doing a episode about your movie. We'd love to have you on to talk about it, as well as other stuff that you did. Let us know. We usually get a response. It's like, yeah, would love to. Great. Name the time and place. And then we do it. So I thought naturally with our own film, with people that we fucking worked with directly.
Tell them how you really feel, man.
I thought it would be easier than that. Well, God damn it, I was wrong. Like we were able to pull higher people on the credits of other films than we were our own. With that being said, though, we are very happy with who did come on because it resulted in a great conversation. It was meant to be. So without further ado, we're going to be speaking to, it's just an open discussion revolving around the film with Jared Rush, the co-writer, executive producer.
Jayla Royal, who is Bree.
Joseph Stearman, who this was actually his first time acting was in I'm Gonna Kill Someone This Friday. He played Pat Durrett.
Let's not forget our IT guy, Jeffrey Wells, Brody. Nobody wants to fucking go to lunch with you, Brody.
Who was so damn good in his audition that he inspired us to write a role specifically for him.
And also inspired SAG to let him know it was okay.
And the man of many hats, Travis Kleiber, hair and
Kleiber,
makeup.
Why do you always do that? Kleiber Elf, come on, man.
Sorry. The man of many hats, Travis Kleiber. He did hair and makeup and quite literally anything else that was needed.
And let's not forget Papa Tino, now Uncle Tino, Tarantino, yeah, I got it, Jones. Go ahead.
I don't think he didn't have a name like spoken in the dialogue in the film, but in the actual IMDb credits, he is credited as Joaquin Goozy Goo.
Why the fuck did I not know that? I'm a fucking co-writer, fucking lead actor, Oscar non-award winning. Why didn't the fuck I know that?
There's a lot.
You sound like fucking Bridget Nielsen when she's on fucking Flavor of Love talking about no one can talk about Flav. He's my poopy poo. What the fuck is that, bro?
Yeah. So We got enjoy that conversation. Jared Rush, Jayla Royal, Joseph Stearman, Jeffrey Wells, Travis Kleiber, and Tarantino Jones. Check it out.
All right, guys. TTFT, you know what time it is, guys. We here at TTFT have a motto. Don't talk about shit that you don't know about. And we reviewed about, 40 movies now? 35, 40 movies?
Mm-hmm.
And so we talk shit, we've given praise. And how dare we do that without showing you some of the great artistry we've done? But before we do that, I got to let you guys know, we don't just have one interview. We have the cast, the crew, and the people that are you. We're joined today by Jared Rush, Jeff Wells, Mr. Tarantino Jones, and secret guests to be announced as their lazy ass come in because they're late. Guys, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Doing good.
Love it, love it, love it. Durden, tell us what movie we're reviewing today.
That one right there. I'm going to kill someone this Friday.
Could you have some more fucking enthusiasm?
Yeah.
To God, let me show you how it should have been done. Durden, tell them what we're reviewing today.
I'm going to kill someone this Friday.
That's how you do it.
We're actually reviewing Durden Godfrey's I'm Going to Kill Someone this Friday. Filmed in Jacksonville, Florida. It was filmed in Jacksonville, but it was not a Jacksonville film.
Hell yeah. Now that's the fucking trailer. Yes. Yeah. Hell, I'm done. All right, that's it, guys. Good shit.
Jeffrey Wells played Brody. Tarantino played Joaquin Goozy Goo. Jared's, of course, co-writer, executive producer, everything else, sir. Location scouter, talent finder.
Before you move on, Jared, did we miss anything?
No, I think we're good.
All right, so where to begin? Let's just start with the concept. I think, Jared, you could speak on that best. You had just seen Never Go Back, and then...
Right. Yeah, so Durden Godfrey wrote, directed, and made this amazing film called Never Go Back. And it was a saga of a family, of a father, son, going out, escaping everything just to live life. And when I saw that film, I was like, holy cow, man. I mean, it was really well done. And I started understanding Durden's his style. And I thought, man, you should really do a psychological thriller, because the way you write, the way you do, you produce, camera work, everything, I think that would be something fantastic.
From that premise became Robert Partridge. And I remember when you first called me and you let Jared know that you had this script, and how dare me or him look at you and say anything other than, oh man, we want to do this. And then you humbled yourself and came back and said, I want you guys to help me give it a writing treatment. And I was like, damn.
Well, let me back up just a little bit. It was three things that the movie that is like three things for the tripod of I'm Going to Kill Someone This Friday, the inception of the story. Jared saying psychological thriller, dead nuts. And then before you start making a movie, if you don't have a big budget, you just kind of have to think, what do I have to work with, and start there, and then build on that. Well, build on what you have to work with. And I thought, what does Jacksonville have to offer that a lot of places don't? We've got this badass, really big tree. So let's just make something that centers around that. And then Dead Nuts comes into play because it's like somebody with that's borderline psychotic in a lot of ways, or bipolar, or it's a fascinating, American Psycho type of individual. It's just a fascinating person to have as a main character, because it's just a playground. You could kind of do anything you want with it, and it's psychological, so you can do anything you want with the premise, the dialogue, the premise. Everything is just kind of, it can all be explained away by it's internal.
I'm gonna just be honest with you. I've been knowing, my man David Durden for a long time. We've, like you say, we've done a lot of projects, so you never really expect, you know what I'm saying, to expect what you're going to get from here is what I'm basically saying. So, you can't expect nothing good. You can't expect nothing bad. You just got to just wait for the unexpected. It was an awesome film is basically what I'm telling you. And so my mindset on it is like, I would definitely tell people to go watch it. Go just sit back, relax, and just check out Robert Partridge, because it's going to be some things in there. You're going to focus so much on Partridge that you'll miss everything else. You know what I'm saying? So awesome.
Okay.
Awesome.
Jeff, we'll get into the audition in just a minute, but while we're in the portion of the production as far as like the writing stages, I'm curious what your first impression was upon reading the script. Let me put this out there too. I don't want this episode to be just a puff piece for the movie. We're 3 years away from it now. Like the good will only mean something if we're totally honest about things that let's just start.
We haven't got that. We didn't get to that point yet, though. We haven't got.
How? We're in the first draft of the script. There is definitely something to point out.
Listen, I had like when you say, hey, listen, man, is there something that you know? I'm ready to give it to you, David. And
this is Jeff's time now. I asked Jeff a question.
Jeff, tell us about when you went home and said
you know, I love you, man. You know I love you, baby. I don't mean it like that, but I'm ready to give it to you, baby.
I'm about to mute him.
This became an OnlyFans episode. This is getting weird.
Jay, you already know what it is, Jay.
Keeps on going.
Did he get into my bag?
Okay. So Jeff. Tarantino, is it all right if Jeff continues now?
Yeah, I want Jay to go ahead and take over, man, Jay, because I'm all over the place.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember the whole process, like how I found out about it, how, you know, I don't remember if it was just like a Facebook post randomly. It was like, hey, tomorrow at 2, or it might have been like this afternoon at 2. And I was like, oh crap. I want to do more film stuff. So, okay. And it's on the north side. All right, I'll make my way out there. You know, me and Justin went because he was like, I want to get into some film stuff too. So I was like, all right, let's go. And, you know, I read through the script. I'm like, all right, I'll do my best. At a glance, I was like, wow, this is not a role for me. Okay, cool. And, you know, I was completely right. And then things changed, which I thought was fascinating. That was one of the first times I've ever dealt with that. Now, there has been another time where someone said, ooh, let's add something for you. But you were the first to have ever done that, where it was like, you know, you don't fit this storyline, but we have this other thing that we're thinking about. And I just thought that was very interesting. And I mean, it still had that audition structure that is very nerve-wracking, but at the same time, nobody was just making that happen. Just the actors themselves in their own heads, and that's just what they do. So when I went in, I vaguely remember myself being pretty relaxed, like being able to just kind of, here you go, here I am here, you know, and even Justin, you know, who was relatively new at acting at the time, had the same kind of experience. So
what made you, not just with this film as an actor, take a chance? Because it's not like someone comes to you, hey, I got a film, and you just do it. What to you said, hey, I want to do this? Like you said, it was a Facebook post, but you're not just responding to everything. What made you say, I'm going to do this?
One, I like the genre. You know, I think you said that it was going to be a suspense and then question, you know, and that had me asking more. And I mean, Jacksonville is the biggest small town, you know, and I knew some people who knew some people who knew some people. I'm like, all right, y'all are vouching for this, going, yeah, this is going to happen. So that helped me want to jump. The fact that you already had the support of the community going, well, we've got, yeah, no, they'll get a job done. They'll get this film will be completed, because it's sad that is the benchmark. Like, will it be completed? Yes, no, maybe so. That's number one of independent filmmaking. Will you finish the project?
If you're paying somebody an exposure, you can at least give them something for their reel.
As in any industry, in the sense of this craft of acting, I think it's very important that people are honest. And whether it's Jacksonville, which is the largest, smallest city, Hollywood, wherever you are, be honest, you know, because people always just go do. Like, I just need to act. If they offer me this job, I don't do it, I'll be, you know, kicked out. But it's like, who is kicking you out? Because even locally, this happened to people. Like, one of my friends was like telling an actress who was starting out, like, oh, whenever an actor tells you to like, I have this part for you, you say yes. And I go, no. Because if you got to research their stuff, if they're not good, you can't even use it for real, and you wasted all your time. So, but yeah, it's never dull in that world of what you're on set. And you kind of find out last minute. But it taught me a valuable lesson. Then obviously being part of Kill and, the whole process with Durden and, everything of that world, which being my first true production of co-creator, co-writer, and especially as executive producer, I've been on set since this, and I just threw myself into it. And I hear other people who don't do what I did, which I don't get it. Like, I just threw myself into it. And I feel like that's what we all did on Kill.
Jared, can you talk about, and you probably weigh in on this, I don't remember much from that evening, but we sat on Royal's back porch and we came up with the final version of the script, the three of us. And I believe it was an all-nighter, right?
There was a lot of Sharpies, Mellow Mushroom, and Remy Martin. For me, it was beautiful because, again, I didn't feel we should even touch the script. And then with you saying, no, I know I wrote this, but I want you guys to vet it for me. And then what we came up with, I'm like, nobody's fucking with this. So Jared, go.
It was very surreal for me because I've always envisioned doing this in life. I realized seeing myself on screen, but with the writing aspect of it, I got more like blown away by the reaction from the audience when it came to words that we put on paper. But what the rewrite is, I've never experienced anything of that since. And I really miss that aspect that we could sit there. Like, again, you didn't have anything against me and vice versa, but Durden, and that was the night when you said, when Durden was talking about his eyesight and his issues, and you said, we don't need your eyes, we need your vision. And it was like, and that's exactly what happened. And
that's copyrighted, by the way, TRoyal.com. That's copyrighted. But yeah, go ahead. Yes, thank you.
Right. But I think in the sense of what I was blown away by the rewrites because we said we were going to not leave until we finish it. Mm-hmm. I think we got to 3 a.m.
Like, we did everything that you could possibly do to prepare properly for a day of production. Like, everything within our power was done.
Yes.
All places are filled.
Correct.
Schedules are confirmed. Times are confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get out there. You have this isn't just a production day with the lead who is like, all right, we know things are going to get fucked up. This is a production day with like extras that aren't accustomed to film that like, why isn't everything going exactly like it should? They already don't expect it to take more than an hour or two. Mm-hmm. And now we're out here and all of the crew has not shown up. Someone very important has not shown up. The audio person has not shown up. The audio person has the equipment from the night before.
My equipment.
All of the extras are here. Everybody's waiting to not be heard, seen and not heard. So you're there. William, I believe we were shooting in William, director of photography, William Bishop's neighborhood.
Jacob.
He happened to have his audio equipment down the street. And then he was able to get that. Justin Mann came that day. He had some of his equipment that he let us use once he got there. And you were a free body. Never had held a boom mic before, but you've been in a studio, so you know sound a little bit and enough to be able to at least step in so we can stay on schedule, because now we're already 2 hours behind on a schedule that has you can't even like room for error is like 10 minutes or we're already behind on the next scene. So that I think that's like, I say all that to say that even when you do everything right, shit will still happen that you have to overcome. And there's 2 different kinds of people. There's the people that will just throw their hands in the air and give up, like, oh, I guess it just didn't work out. Or you find another set of audio equipment and able body and you keep rolling. And I think we finished that day ahead of schedule.
We did.
And also before this conversation continues, we have to remember that was the second day, and it was the biggest production day at the softball field with over 40 between extras and cast and parents and kids. Mm-hmm. And that was a very long day. And the fact that all that came together and whew.
Jeff, let me
hold on one second for you. Travis has just joined.
Oh,
Travis.
Travis, how's my makeup, Trav? How's my makeup, man?
Yeah, your makeup looks good.
Thank you.
This is Travis Kleiber. He did the hair and makeup and so much more.
He was everything.
No, you hold on real quick.
He was getting compliments.
I don't care.
He was getting compliments.
From who?
They complimented the girl like, I like his hair.
Oh, yeah. Well, you could say that in just a second.
Go ahead.
I said hold on a second. I didn't say hold on indefinitely.
2. Go.
In my introduction to Travis, I just want to say that Travis there was maybe like 2 days out of the whole production that you didn't, that you weren't able to make it. There was like an issue with your bike one night. and your absence was felt very much. Like there was a certain peace of mind that came with you being there, because when I saw you show up, I knew that between you, Jared, and Royal, if there was anything that was needed, it was going to manifest itself very quickly.
Yeah.
Especially you, like you were willing to do anything to make sure that we got what was needed done.
Even if it was knocking on doors at mansions.
Yeah. I mean, the script was like solid. You guys were solid. So it felt like a family, you know what I mean? So that's why I was passionate about being there as much as I could. And I was bummed out the 2 days I couldn't make it. But, on set, it was just so much fun, like shooting a movie with your friends. How much better can you get? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, I just want to say I appreciate it.
Yeah. Anytime. I'm down to do it again whenever y'all are ready. So.
All right, 5'9", coming out of Duval County, averaging 1 Oscar per year since 7th grade. You know her, number 1 in your program, number 12 in your hearts, Jayla Royal, Bree, and I'm going to kill someone this Friday!
Hey!
Oh my gosh, he got into my bag.
Hey, that's my niece, man. She turning up, man. This first year of college, man. Hey, make sure you turn up.
You sleep by 8 o'clock.
Have a good time. You know what, me and your dad finna come up there, and me and Uncle David, we finna come in there at the pool. You already know what it is, so I'm sorry for taking over. My bad, man. I just be happy to see that. So we got what we got, David?
Meanwhile, back to Jayla.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So Jayla, we were actually talking about the auditions, and
my bad.
Can you tell us about how you ended up playing Bree and what your initial thoughts were about the character?
Okay, so I ended up playing Bree. I really wouldn't say there was an audition process. I had I had film. I had a little bit of stuff that the director and the producers could look at for. So I really didn't have to audition. But when I first got cast, it took a while for me to get into character because it was somebody it's the exact opposite of who I am. So just getting into character, it was a little different for me. But being the daughter of the king, I have to, it's kind of easy. It comes easy, Okay, no tears needed. Okay, got enough of those. Yeah, I would say it was pretty easy for me to get into character, but still, it took a lot of dedication, seeing how I was somebody that I really wasn't in real life.
I will be honest. I thought that because I didn't see that much until we started shooting, and I really thought that you were just going through like a teenage angst type of thing. I didn't realize that you were as bubbly as you were until I was like, oh my God, she really was playing a character. Like, yeah. Deep. It was the polar opposite of how you are in real life.
Yeah.
I have a follow-up question for you, Jayla, but before we get into that, I want to welcome Joseph Stearman, played Pat Durrett.
Yeah!
All right, bring him in. Welcome, Joseph.
Man.
Joseph, what was your first impression when you, the first day of shooting, that night at Chamblin's? What was your impression there of, because I mean, we had the opportunity of being your first impression as far as a feature film?
Well, to not sound too cliche, I have to tell you that it was magical for me. Being a stage actor and sort of always wanting to be on film. And I remember, showing up to location, walking in, being very, very nervous and not really met many of my co-stars at all. And then I was really welcomed. I felt very welcomed on set. And I got to give a lot of credit to Jarrett for that. He was sort of the handman there who sort of came in and greeted me, made me feel comfortable.
Hey, buddy, around. You need me to get you anything? You need me to get you anything?
You good? All right. Yeah.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but it was nice. And it was neat seeing the layouts and the things that I'd always seen before about how scenes are set up and the all the equipment and the tracks on the floor and all that stuff. It just seemed, I kept pinching myself saying, am I really here? Is this really happening to me?
I have to say, it's one of the, even the insanity of disasters, and as we call it, the kill curse and everything that happened. The most amazing thing I would always see with Durden is we always had a backup plan. And that backup plan normally meant right there on the spot thinking. Like when we were on day 2, when we lost the sound guy and everything, and Tarantino came and helped out and took over that situation like a badass he is. I remember one time there was a situation, someone couldn't show up. And Durden was kneeling down with a pen and paper. And people were like, well, walking. I'm like, no, leave him alone. Because I could see he was like in this element. So directors and creators like that make it a lot easier to be a producer. And then even having someone like, a Travis on set where, oh, hey, by the way, I just walked this subdivision of San Marco and I got this house and I got that house. It's like, what? I mean, you're right, Durden, when you talked about when Travis wasn't there, it was felt. And it made like, I mean, because I think it was like 1 or 2 times I couldn't be there because I had little guy the weekend or something, but knowing there was a Travis there, it made it a lot easier. But in the sense of when problems came, because I'm always about not having problems, having solutions. One of the things I always tell people, specifically you as a director, I said there was times I would go up to Durden because the films before this, you kind of was, it was just like friends, or it was like a small crew or cast. I said there were times I'll go to Durden and go, hey, do these background guys know about what's going on? And you would go, no, and I would take care of it. And there was times I noticed I'll go up to you and go, do they know what's going on? Oh, you need to go talk to them. Because my goal was also to kind of push you out of that element of just directing to convey. But I learned you pretty fast in the sense of how you work. Like that time, the second day of production, you're in this element where no one else was around, and you were able to work out like 3 scenes we're supposed to film a week in advance, and you made it all happen there. Like that bathroom scene with Thomas, and Errol, that's like everything was happening so fast, but it's like, because we didn't have time to prep for some of these shots and locations. But I, as a producer, it was just a whirlwind, but I learned so much, and it's created such a high standard. We always said that, our goal was to raise the standard. And I can boldly say from friends I know in Jacksonville who are directors and writers, because of what we did, I know they have taken it to the next level because we created the standard. And that's to me is one of the most powerful things I've experienced, that something I was part of and created and touched, and a lot of behind the scenes stuff that was going on that only the 3 of us, as in we were like the only ones who knew what was happening or wasn't happening. And then how we made a decision like, okay, we just moved with it. So that to me, I think that's the most important thing, and not just producing, but just in life in general. Because if you have an attitude like, oh shit, the skies just open up, I'm like, okay, well, let's go find some shelter and keep filming.
What was the experience like as far as the premiere goes, and what was your first impression of the movie? And in that, I would like you to include one thing that you have to change something about I'm Gonna Kill Someone This Friday. What is that going to be?
That's a loaded question, but go ahead, guys. And Gal.
I guess I'll jump in.
Don't be shy, Jeff.
Oh.
Everybody counted to 4 and then went at the same time.
Right, exactly. I don't know. My first impression was that the turnout was crazy. We had so many people there for the film. It gave me goosebumps, just all the hard work we put into it. All these people showed up to share this moment with us. It was great. And honestly, I wouldn't change anything about Kill. I think it was perfect, It was a great time in my life that I think about all the time. So you have
to change something.
He would change you asking him that question because he doesn't.
Don't make me do it. Don't make me say it.
That's exactly what I'm doing.
Okay. Well, okay. I would go back and reshoot the scene on top of that. I don't know what building we're in at the very top where we had the AC going the whole time. I would turn that AC off. That's what I would do. So
yeah,
That's for all my sound students out there. He just gave you $40,000 of advice. You don't have to go to Full Sail anymore. Turn off the AC.
And if you're ever on the set of a production and you hear somebody say, "We'll fix it in post," I want you to walk up to them post-haste and smack them in the fucking mouth.
Punch him in the face, yeah.
Tropic Thunder, Tropic Thunder.
Yeah. Yes. There you go.
We are getting this as a live shot, right?
That's right. Obviously, for me to be able to go to a premiere, a red carpet premiere, walk in, stand up there next to people like Royal and Jared and Jeff and all these people that were there, Tom. I remember just the buzz that was in the room. I also think maybe the weather was kind of for that night, it was either rainy or big storm, and they thought maybe we might not be able to do the premiere. We weren't sure.
There was a bomb threat.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was, so obviously I really enjoyed that as well. As far as the movie, what I would change is probably the scene with Pat at the table. I probably would have made that a little longer, probably. Probably would have been.
Hey, yeah, nothing wrong with that. Hey, I enjoyed it.
You're going places, kid. You got the spirit.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed that. He was 20 minutes away from becoming the killer of the film. 20 more minutes to table with Thomas. He was going to kill someone that night.
My favorite scene from the film would have to be the hallway scene with me walking down the hallway. It's not even me just walking. It was the look. That was my favorite scene throughout the whole.
You are your father's daughter. I'd have to say my favorite scene.
I mean, is she wrong? I mean, hell.
What was your favorite?
That was my favorite scene.
Other than the only thing that could beat you on screen.
Well,
that was a proud papa
moment. The camera was looking at me.
Jayla, hold on. Jayla, give him the eye. Give him the wink. Give him the wink. Give him the Bree wink when she walks down the highway. Give him the Bree wink. That's it. Bam. That's the effing trailer.
Okay. Calm down.
Tropic Thunder again.
Yes, ma'am.
There we go.
Yes, ma'am.
Jeff, what would you change?
I would say the only thing I would probably up the red herring aspect, because I don't think that her character was obvious as it, but I still feel there could have been more where the audience would be like, wait, just to lean into that from all of the characters, I'm not saying just for Brody, although Brody I do feel had it with him talking about the guns and this and that and just kind of giving that little anecdote. So you wrote it in there, but I don't know that it made it quite to the screen. But then again, sometimes you got to go subtle. But I think I would have gone a little bit harder with that, with all of the characters and pushing their I honestly would have said their offness even more. Now, I don't think I would have asked the actors to do it more. I just don't know how to get that. So that'd be the only
I completely identify with that, because that was we were talking about that earlier. That was one of the dilemmas that we faced, was trying to find that balance of not giving too much away, not spoon feeding, but giving them enough to chew on to create their own theories. And that was, I agree. I don't think we always nailed that balance perfectly.
But in fairness, though, had we flipped the narrative, you're not wrong, Jeff, because other people outside of us who are not involved with the film have given that criticism. Had we flipped the narrative, people would have been like, well, this is so taboo. It's what they do. I saw it coming a mile away. So it's like, while you can't please everyone, it's like at a certain point, once you put in the work, you go for what you feel is a great film. But I agree with you guys. I would have loved to see, even though we've talked about this personally, the certain characters be delved into a little bit more, but then hey, it's just, what can you do sometimes? Something's always going to wind up on the cutting room floor. And that's why I love film. It's like, okay, next time I get the opportunity, I don't care if I get 2 seconds. They're going to fucking remember me for life.
Right.
Yeah.
People don't understand what goes into the behind the scenes. But during everything came to like the reality of that whole production. Like, oh, there's a bomb threat. We might have to shut down. Yeah, okay.
I'm pretty sure we looked at each other. We're like, yeah, that checks out. That's about right.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And then we go in there.
No one told me this.
And we just did our thing, and no one knew the difference.
Well, I mean, at that point, there's things that you can control and things you can't control. And like you mentioned earlier, when you said that there was an actor didn't show up or there was a scene change or something, and Durden's on the ground trying to figure out the next scene, you have to move forward. You have to. If you don't, you'll never complete anything. Whether it be film, life, whatever. I live the motto: always forward, always forward.
Right.
Yeah.
Nice.
When your life is a series of hurdles, like everybody's is, you just like that's your option. You either figure out a way to get over it or what, you're stuck there. Like that's ridiculous.
One of the neat things I enjoyed was watching as we sat in Chamberlain's and got set for that scene. Typically as a stage actor, and obviously that's all that I had, you're working with these people for weeks and weeks and weeks and honing the lines and picking up on the nuances and organically finding things in there to connect with the other person. And so when I walked in there, besides the table read, I really hadn't been around anybody. So you're basically saying, hey, you've got a half hour, 45 minutes, whatever it is before we shoot to find some connection with these characters, with these people. And it's going to be on film, preserved forever. This is what you're going to see. So for me, that was scary. The fact that typically when I walk an opening night of a stage production, I've had countless hours with these people, and even off stage, just get to know them, who they are. So for me, that was the scary part, and then the big challenging part for me. But then also the magical part. I keep using that word magical. Just seeing the way that scene came together and seeing the light changes and how the table was set and as it got darker outside and the candlelight and how all that. And I kept thinking to myself, I bet this looks beautiful. I bet this looks absolutely beautiful on film. I wish I could see it, but I'm still trying to stay in the moment. But I can just tell based on what I've seen, the way it was set up. I said, because everybody looks right in candlelight anyway. So I said, this has just got to be gorgeous. And I can't wait to see it.
That's awesome.
I remember like when we wrapped that scene at Chamberlain's, getting a picture with you guys and just thinking about how well I'd been treated. I mean, not that I had been mistreated anywhere else, but I felt very supported by everybody. I mean, Travis doing my makeup. I mean, everything. It was great. The only thing I remember having difficulty with was when we left there and we transitioned to the house to do the bed scene. It's that challenge of trying to stay in character, although all I'm doing is looking at a laptop. So for me, that's sort of the unmagical moment or whatever was kind of that, having to leave there, go. But then I remember it was either Durden or Jared saying, all right, and for Joseph, that's a wrap. And it was like, yes,
that was Jared.
I finally got to hear that. Like, and we're done with Joseph. There we go. And big applause, send me out. I remember I can't remember driving home. It was just literally like that high of just, wow.
Durden Thomas.
That's how we do it.
You're like Royal just said, you can't buy that. You can't.
Right.
I mean, what it must feel like for a performer, a rocker, whatever, to walk out on stage and hear 50,000 people screaming their name, and it just. Where do you find that? Where do you find that? I mean, if this is, like Jared just said, if this is what is the exception rather than the rule of how films are shot here, then I feel very spoiled by that. I was honored and humbled. I still am by anybody who does decide to want to work with me. I do try to be professional. I do try to come prepared. I try to bring it all. I know I'm not right for everything, and that's okay. But once I commit to a project, I'm 100% in, and I felt all of that from auditions all the way through to Jared's. Okay, and that's Joseph. That's a wrap. All the way through. I felt very, very supported, and I'm so appreciative. I really, really am.
Well, Joseph, thank you so much for that. And Jared, could you wrap them one more time? Wrap them like you did, Jared. Wrap them. Go ahead.
There you go.
Everybody, that's Joseph. There's a cut. It's a wrap right there. Woo!
Thank you very much for letting me be part of this, guys. I really, really enjoyed it. Thank you so much for the opportunity. It was wonderful.
Okay, so I would say like the best part of everything, well, my favorite part of doing everything as a cast would be the table read, like the first one. When we did the table read and then we had the photo shoot, because it was just so good to see everybody's personalities come to life. Like, especially like that one picture where everybody's like has their character like shown on their face, and it's like me like with no emotion at all, and everybody's like going crazy. This is like it was really nice to see like everybody. The most magical part, or like something that was like really like touchy, I would say, was like fighting with the weather. Like during the park scene, when we did like the baseball scene, it was like we were there I felt like we were there a long time, probably just because it was me. And then also my dad kept telling me I couldn't change my hair because I'm usually used to like changing my hair all the time. And he was like, Jayla, no, you can't change your hair for like 3 months. You have to keep it in. Yeah, I was like, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can. But yeah, that was about it. Yeah.
I forgot about the weather on the baseball day. That sucked. Yeah,
it did. It did.
before we move on to the next one, I want to share my favorite memory was actually the scene, shooting your school scene, because you made it was. I don't want to say that bringing a shooter into my school made my dream come true, but as a rebel throughout my school years, always being like the troublemaker and the one that the teachers look at as like the example of what not to do. It was so cool to do something like that is essentially the epitome of like the ultimate form of school rebellion. Not condoning it, nobody do that, but it doesn't get any more rebellious than walking into a school with a gun. And I had the permission of the school, the person that taught me TV.
You're old school. Yeah,
I said it's my favorite memory. That was like the most I will say magical. That was a magical moment to go back to the school where I took TV production, have my teacher help with organizing extras for that scene, and have their grace to say, yes, come into the school with a gun and shoot this like crazy. I never thought that was going to happen, and the fact that it did, that was like such a surreal moment for me to be back and like working with kids that are in the same class that I took 10 years ago.
Now, I can't beat that, but I'll just say this from a different perspective. It's not only going to take long. It was me. I used to think my dream was always to, win the Oscar, be the best actor in the world. But I like that fails in comparison to filming with your daughter and being in a scene with your daughter. So it's not like a skit or some type of short. This is a full-length feature film, and my daughter's the killer. I can't tell, and I'm not even real. So it's like it's crazy. So yeah, right. Spoiler alert. Go see it, guys. And but to be in that, and we're only on scene together for like maybe a few seconds, but it's like, man, you know what? I didn't even, that's the one time in life I didn't watch me in a scene. Yeah. I watched her the whole time, and it's just like, she did it, not me. And so that was surreal. To me, it's still, I'm about to cry, so I'm going to shut up.
All right. So Jayla, advice to aspiring actors, actresses, and any final words that you'd like to leave us with?
Don't be yourself. That's what I would say. Don't be yourself. Don't be afraid to not be yourself and step outside of your comfort zone. And any final words, I would say, victory over violence.
Over violence. I knew you were going to do it. I knew you were going to do it. Bam. Hey, sweetheart, come on. You got to come on. Let me see you. Let me go.
No, not on the camera, Dad. That's going to look weird.
Love you, Jayla. You did great. Love you.
Thank you, Jayla.
Thank you.
It's like
bye,
Bye, Jayla.
Bye.
Bye. Who's next? Travis. What's your favorite memory from the production, and what was the most? I know you've got to have some interesting stories about challenges and overcoming them, because you were the one that we go to most of the time when there was a problem that needed to be solved.
I guess my favorite part of the production was the pool. I don't know whose house that was, but when Thomas was out there like completely naked and jumped in the pool with the blood on him.
Hold on, let me catch Royal up real quick. Travis's favorite memory from the production was the pool.
That's why Thomas didn't join. That's just why he didn't join us today.
If y'all remember, there was a giant I guess it was a rooster.
I missed one day on set, and that was it.
And he was like completely naked. He put a rooster in front of his junk. And it was just, I have like pictures. I got to find those pictures. I have so many pictures.
You don't have to find them. You're good. You don't have to find the pictures. You're good.
Yeah, they came to stuff the rooster.
Oh, yeah.
And then, I don't know, like challenges. Like it was us, you know what I mean? It was a group of people that were awesome and cool to hang out with. So I don't think there was challenges, but I just felt like everybody just stepped up and did what they needed to do. You know what I mean? Like everybody, if there was a hole to be filled, somebody filled that hole. So I don't really know. I don't know if there's challenges to that because everybody just stepped up. So
he's trolling us,
especially Thomas.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. He stepped up with his junk.
Yeah, he was very hesitant to. He fought me on that. That was the only, usually he is the director's actor. He's the ideal person.
Well, forgive Thomas for not wanting to do soft porn.
Okay. But he knew the scrirt. He knew what the
I didn't write that part. But Jared's drinking now. There we go.
Decided to take it up.
Find his OnlyFans. I'm just saying.
He has till October 1st.
He has the hands on the waist of his waistband, and that's when he decided to bring it up that he might take issue with this. Like, why do we have to do this? Like, I'm not going to sit here and explain my artistic vision to you right now. This is
yeah, exactly. Whatever you got to tell yourself, man.
I just get your dick out and get in the pool.
Exactly.
He's like, it's gonna
Pull it
be,
out.
it's gonna.
Says every police report when the witness gave their statement.
This was in what, like November or something?
I don't know.
It was November.
He's like,
hey, Royal, you didn't miss much anyways, so you know.
There it is.
He said,
Whammy.
He said it's so cold. This is going to be people's first impressions of my penis.
Jared's that Seinfeld episode. You know, I was in the pool.
Yeah. Shrinkage.
Before, because I guess we're saying goodbye to everybody as we do this. So before we move on to Jeff and Jared, I want to take one moment to acknowledge the fact that there is at least one person from the crew who couldn't have been here today, even if they wanted to. Jeff Soto, Dr. Jones, sadly no longer with us. There's actually we have a in memoriam clip prepared already that will run right now.
All right, man. I'm gonna go ahead and do a rough cut here. I stood at the wall, too afraid to climb. You walked right up and stood by my side and said, the old world is over, so stand on my shoulders and see the new world's just begun. Bravery called to me, took me by the hand, said that the fear is all in my head, because the kings were telling lies, spoiling fruit from the trees, and let you starve under a dimming light. Here I stand now, too afraid to fly. So you climbed up and looked in my eyes and said, the old world is over, so stand on my shoulders and see that the new world's just begun. Yeah. 3 minutes and 30 seconds, not bad. There will be more stuff to it. Obviously, when I record it, I'm going to throw some other instruments on there, especially during the strumming piece. I think I might throw some strings in there and
who knows what else might get added. But there it is, dude. That's the song. Thanks, bro.
I watch horror films now that are just now doing the kind of stuff that Jeff did with the score for this movie, as far as just the different concepts that he had, the music itself, the timing of it, how different sounds were used, to the thought that was put into it was so, it was conceptual in itself.
I really just wanted to stay in the headspace of Harvey Holt, regardless of what was happening outside of his space, with his family or the people that he worked with. It's just dread and madness, and I just wanted to keep it there.
So I was wondering what everybody else's impressions were of the score.
I've known Jeff for quite some time, and this is one of those times where I think I spoke to you personally. I was just like, I don't know if he, I like what he does. I don't know if he'd be right for this. And then you start sending me and Jared snippets, and I was like, he's going to do this. And then when I saw it the night of Fully Sound, and I sat next to him and saw how elated he got, I knew he was the right man for the job.
The sad thing is that at the premiere, he was already in the decline of whatever was happening in mentally with him. He almost didn't come because he was it was already starting to take shape, whatever the fuck was happening. And that wasn't even, if it was your first time meeting him at the premiere, sadly to say you didn't even really meet him. That was not the Jeff that I'd known for over a decade. But that was like one of the things that really like messed with him was he's always very critical. He was his harshest critic. So watching everybody respond positively to the movie, and a lot of the critiques that were coming in, specifically mentioned the score and how great it was, that fucked with him in a almost like a negative way. Like he did not know how to he didn't know how to receive that. So let's continue complimenting him. Let's make him uncomfortable.
Anything?
It immersed you. I mean, that's the biggest thing is it made you, there was no questions that we were in this world. And it did give it that theatrical element. It gave it that, but at the same time, it wasn't intrusive. That's the thing I hate about a lot of specifically independent film, where it'll be the music and then the music, and it's just, dude, stop. Like, we get it. You're wanting us to be scared. You're wanting us to be tense. This one it was just stringing along, just that little line that you need to have, to where you only notice it just I don't know, instinctively. Like it and it wasn't minimal either, but great.
He said something that was really brilliant to me that I would have never thought to do. He said, what do you think about when I'm putting the score together? If in those moments where you want to go big with it, what if in those moments we go silent? It's like, I'm not talking about like quiet. I'm talking about deafening silence. Yeah. And he did that. And it was that, I think that changed so much of the movie and made it elevated the movie to a different level of a sophisticated psychological thriller, because it took any kind of campiness away from it. And there's this tone, like he went so far as to like research a specific tone that CIA would use to make people feel uneasy, that they would like play in the interrogation room for hours before they came in. You can't even hear it, imperceptible to the ears, but you're like feeling it in your whatever internal rhythm or whatever. And he played that for the entirety of the whole score, the whole entire movie. Wow. That tone is playing beneath the surface. And we actually started playing that tone at the premiere. The moment the doors opened during the whole 20-minute intro, that tone was playing to get people in that state of unease. He actually created an instrument specifically for the movie and called it the modus, which is the hammer. But it was like this piece of wood that was like really, really long, and then he had a guitar string that was like strapped to it, and then somehow figured out a way to plug a cord to the amp into that, and then use the violin bow to that sound that like that's an instrument that doesn't even exist before this movie.
First of all, heart broke when I got the news from you about everything that happened with Jeff. But I remember specifically, it's something I'll never forget. I was on a production at a stunt studio school outside of Orlando, and it was 2 a.m. and the only light was coming out of the barn, and I'm barely in mostly darkness and a little bit of light. And you sent it to me, and I actually, for some reason, I had reception on my phone, and I hit play, and it's the Partridge theme, and then I start walking back to the house, and it's completely dark, and I hear kill, and I'm like, so it already it ripped into my heart. And then when I heard the whole soundtrack, and especially when we did the editing and the cuts and everything with the music, I've always man, Jeff is going to be like the John Carpenter of like even beyond of what his style. And it was definitely an honor and pleasure to have his work on this film. And it's just, to this day, I'll listen to that music. Like even recently I listened to John Carpenter's new mix for the new Halloween, and it's good, but it's not what Jeff did. It's not what he was going to be intended to do. So, but yeah, the soundtrack definitely made it.
He spoiled me, Jared. I said I don't want to do movies anymore unless you're creating an instrument for him. Like that's the bar. How you said we raised the bar for film. When he told me that story, I thought he was bullshitting. And he like, no, he really did. And I went back and listened to the sound. I'm like, that's something you cannot recreate. If you hear that sound somewhere else, it was literally stolen from this film. It lives forever, man. That's why I love being an artist. I don't know about you guys, but your writing lives forever. When you leave this earth, your writing's here. My acting's here. You're saying, hey, I made this happen. Without this connection, this doesn't happen. Jeff, you saying, I auditioned for this part, but this is everybody else remembers me for this. Like, we live on, guys. I mean, we live on. We transcend time.
Dude, that's my fucking music playing, dude. That's my song, dude. Playing on the keyboard all by itself, dude, because of my notes that are written on top of that page, bro. It's fucking crazy, man. It's just, I've never been like this kind of person before, man. Like a fucking musician, right? Fucking fuck, dude.
All right, so Jeff, your favorite memory from the production, and if there is any moment of challenge or frustration that had to be overcome.
Favorite moment, I was on set, I think only one day, if I remember correctly. We were in the tower, and it was beautiful. Like just being up there. I've lived in Jacksonville all my life. I'm a native, and I've seen that building. I'm like, oh, cool. I imagine it'd be nice seeing all the way around, and you could. And then you add the surreal aspect that we're making a film in it. That there is this AC, that everyone is kind of sitting around and waiting and doing nothing for hours, because of course you got to wait for this, and you got to do this, and there's that. And then there's, Scott Broughton doing yoga on the floor. And, and then we end up, in the conference hall, and I'm writing bizarre ass poetry, as this character. It was just a neat.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I did too, until you started saying favorite thing. I'm like, huh. And I'm like, wait, the rest of that day I wrote that weird ass, just stream of consciousness stuff. And like just that whole experience was just fun. Like there were moments where it was, you got to wait. That's the business, and that's the way it is.
The Fraus Mendau Day at Gresham and Partners. That's the right, Jared, right? Gresham and Partners. Yes. When that was probably the most challenging day for me for two reasons. One, you're right, Jeff. There was a lot of waiting around, and probably more so that day than most days, because that place was a nightmare logistically to shoot in. Beautiful shots, but it's essentially windows and mirrors. Like, so William looks at us like, "What the fuck?" But then on top of that, we're on like the 22nd floor. There was like, I need to, like, I can't think without a cigarette. I need to be pacing, smoking.
Jared was coming down looking for you like, "Have you seen Dirt?" And I was like,
we're we're on set and on the day that presents the most like challenges that you need to puzzle out in your brain in a place that I can't just freely have a cigarette. I got to go through security, go down, come back up. That day sucks so bad for that reason. Mainly because I could not smoke at leisure.
The drinkers didn't have a problem. Ew.
So, Jeff, before you go, like, is there? Congratulations on SAG. I'm sure, like, I mean, being a part of a union, that's like what, guaranteed wages, sometimes benefits, even.
Yeah, as long as you get the job. That's always the challenge of it. But yeah, it is great to think of where I've been and where I'm going. You know, it's a journey, and I'm just glad to be able to say, all right, I'm stepping a certain way, you know, and I don't feel like anything I've ever done hasn't led to it, you know, whether good or bad. Where I am now and where I will be in the future is everything that's behind me, you know, for better and for worse. And that's, yeah, it's, when did we do this? What year was it? Like,
it was 1987.
It was at least 26, 27 years ago. Like, at least.
It's bizarre. Like, I think didn't I have a brown beard then?
I'm 25 right now. What happened?
I was 15 when we shot it. I had to get rides to the set. Yeah, no, it feels like a decade ago. I think it was 2017 we shot it.
Yeah.
Do you have any final words, anything that you want to share, plug, or any advice that you want to give?
Just make your damn films, people. Make them. You know, I'm kind of one of the hosts of the Jacksonville Film Bar. We just literally let people in. Right now we exist only on Zoom, but I mean, we're just literally a group for people to come around and just say, hi, you know, I want to go do this. I have a cell phone, you know, is there anyone who I can talk to about a script, you know, help me with formatting, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Go be social and safe and just get your film done, you know, be willing to do it. Is it going to be shit? Probably. That's fine. Whatever. Like, get it done. And then you're going to get progressively better and better and better. And you're going to fall in love with it more. That's the more important one. And give it out, you know, don't just keep it to yourself. Like, you know, allow it to go out there. There are going to be people who are going to hate it. There are people who are going to love it. And you optimistically are going to love it. You're going to have your kid put it out there in the world, and it's going to grow and blossom and become whatever. You know, it may not become what you want, but that's fine. But yeah, I mean, no matter what, make your films, people. You know, that would be my word, I guess.
Yeah, that's perfect advice. That belongs on a bumper sticker. Just do it.
Right, Chip.
Well, Jeff, we wish you nothing but the best. Please stay healthy, and hey, good luck with the union. And hey, give them hell, man.
Yeah, thanks. All right.
That's a wrap for Jeff. Woo! Thank you, sir.
Skynet, baby. Skynet secure. All right.
And the three amigos return.
All right, let's go ahead and talk about this shit. Why the hell has this film sold? God damn it. Whose fault is it?
It's Dante Jarentroll's fault.
All three. We thank you for giving us this time, man. We'll see you soon. And hey.
That's a wrap for Jerry.
Love you guys. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
All right. Before we move on to Cast, Crew, or You, want to take a moment to appreciate another channel called Terrible 20s. They did a hilarious sweeted parody of our trailer, and it's just too good not to share. So watch that now.
You tell me if someone hurt you, right?
Why? Would you hurt them?
Oh, yes. What do I do? Bend over!
pick up where God left off. Improve upon his design.
Why do you test me, Lori?
How's everyone doing this morning?
Good. How are you, Dad?
I'm great, Bobby. I'm great.
Hey, here we are. You are confirming that I was right. You are a socks man.
I don't care to see your goddamn hammer, Garrett.
Why would you? You got socks.
Hey, what is going on, Robert?
Why do you think you want these things? Want these things like I told you to want them. God made a mistake bestowing you free will.
I let you continue thinking you had free will. And I've already made the decision for you.
You realize you're a psychopath, right?
I'm a goddamn sledgehammer, man. That's who I am. I'm a sledgehammer guy.
All right. Now that's what I was talking about. Listen. Now that's the fucking trailer.
Hey.
Hey, I guess it's after 6 o'clock. Go ahead. All right. Now, with that being said, guys, we're coming into cast, crew, or you. If you've not been watching season 1, season 2, and season 3, there's been one mainstay other than me and Durden, and that's been Mr. I fucked up his name during season 1. He'll never let me forget it.
Do I look like a fucking Robert?
Yeah, just not Partridge. I'm talking about Mr. Brandon. He did come down to Duval County, Jacksonville, Florida, and interview us for this film. So, Durden, roll that beautiful bean footage.
I've got the guys from Kill. I'm gonna kill somebody this Friday.
Someone. Get it right. He wrote that for a reason. No.
Oh, we have you.
He thinks he's leaving.
Yeah.
The film opens with Robert Partridge getting a visit from the police.
Correct.
And the film literally
got a visit from the
literally
police.
opened by one of the major cast members getting a visit from the police.
Or in some sense. So, yeah, the curse starts from there.
Well, with all the bad stuff that happened, opening with the fucking Hurricane Irma to a broken arm, some really remarkable things happened during this film, like the one take
chaos scene. Or which one?
The amount of single takes we took on this film, where everyone was dedicated, we were all in the right headspace, everyone was on the same page, and we got one take, and then we actually took a moment and said, all right, do we need another one for safety? And we actually had the hubris, I don't know if it's the hubris or the confidence, to say, yeah, we got it, let's just move on. So that really helped us.
Admittedly, a lot of it was just wanting to move on.
Yeah. Well, and this is what I loved. This is absolutely what I loved about this crew the best, and why I feel so sad that this whole thing is coming to an end. You know, as an actor, we just kind of we're kind of the prostitutes of the business. We move from John to John and make their film. You know, but this crew, its perseverance is second to none. The way that everyone was so unflappable in the face of such daunting tasks. Everyone was just calm, chill, fun, laughing, smiling, and oh, it's no problem. We can fix it. We can do it. We can. And that attitude really did a lot for my well-being personally, and scores for the film itself.
Thomas, what's like your process on getting into that character? Because from what I can tell, you and the character are vastly different entities.
Thank you.
Just based on the trailer.
I hide my psychopathy well. First, okay, I did a master class with Olympia Dukakis. I had this wonderful opportunity back in like 2011, and it was when I was going to college to major in business, and I ended up taking this acting class because it was part of the communications department, right? They weren't teaching business ethics that semester. Long story short, I'm sitting there listening to Olympia Dukakis talk about or just herself, her daily thing, and she goes, I'll be sitting at a sidewalk cafe and someone will walk by with this interesting, weird way of walking, and I immediately have to get up and try it and try to make it mine, and I was like, oh my God, I'm an actor. Like that, I do that. I've always done that. You know, if I see something interesting or fun, I try to mimic it. So the process starts with the walk. If I can find how this person carries him or even herself, for that matter, I can start to build the characterization, the way the person is in a day-to-day basis, and then from that characterization, I try to find why the character would do these certain things and make it personal, and that's the personalization. Now, I think Stanislavski said something about the difference between characterization and personalization, but for me, I have to make it an extension of myself, right? Otherwise, it doesn't feel authentic. So I try to find why, as me, as myself, why I would do those certain things, and I take things from my own life and apply it.
You had a very real edginess to you, even in between takes on set.
I heard a little bit about that. I heard there was a vanished mid-production.
Oh, shit.
I'll cut that and just say girl. There was a girl that...
Did I hurt?
No, there wasn't even anything that you did personally to the person. It was just a feeling of uneasiness that they just preferred not to be around that energy anymore in the future.
When did this happen?
Wow.
How did I miss all of this?
I just found this out last night on it with a conversation on the way to pick him up.
Oh my God! Really?
Yeah.
You're talking about the one that came on set late at the house?
I don't know. It's literally, I'm not even being like mysterious. That's all the details that I know.
Wow.
That was pretty interesting. Also,
teaser.
Well, Robert was a very creepy person, and this is what's so wonderful about the film, and it's such a left field shot at the audience. We're looking at one of the worst people that walks the earth. Period. This man Robert is. He's a good person, at least he thinks so, but he is just mean as a snake and completely self-centered. Just the universe really does revolve around him, and the question we're asking in the movie is, what does it take for a human being, what level of evil does it take for a human being, for the audience to root for this person to get hurt? From the actor's standpoint, it is absolutely the empty justification for the things that Robert does that drove me. Every moment, see, the root of narcissistic behavior, psychopathy or sociopathy, is the profound insecurity that I'd call it a victim, that the victim of the sickness experiences. So it is that profound.
Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I was thinking about myself.
Exactly. And that's so that profound insecurity makes the victim of this sickness justify everything he or she does as correct, and everyone else is out of step with reality. They can go so far as psychosis. believing things that just aren't true. But more commonly, they are so distracted by their own thoughts. They're so distracted by what's going on in their own head. They literally don't recognize the existence of other people. And when they do recognize the existence of other people, their brain projects a version of themselves onto that other person, and that person becomes unreal. Their experience of the other people is in fact not real, so they react in an unreasonable way to them. So it was fun to play that. It was fun to really dive into the darker part of my psyche.
All right, with that being said, fuck's given. All right, guys, for the interview portion of the episode, we will be talking to Lady Shasha of What Did I Just Watch? She took issue with a few aspects of the film, which we do allow. So we thought it would not be, we wouldn't be remiss if we didn't tell you how cool it would be to have her have an open discussion with someone who is really a film reviewer. She didn't say, hey, you guys reached out to me. I need some more views on my channel. I'll tell you good things about your film if you just, no, she was very fucking honest. And that's what most people need nowadays. So with that being said, guys, we love that she was not on the kill bandwagon. And guess what? She held us to the fire. So let the flame just blaze, Durden.
Yeah.
You can't follow that. Just stop.
Just check out this. I mean, this is because I do have a little something to say about it. Yeah, because everybody, when you're an independent filmmaker and you reach out to film reviewers, they give you this extra leadway. They put, you're playing bowling with bumpers. Like, they're too nice. Mm-hmm. And she stood out because she was the one person that there was two, but she really held us to the fire.
Correct.
And I think a lot of it was like a miscommunication, or like certain points didn't land. So it was important for us to have an open conversation. Correct. Where, and you'll see, she's like, you made some good points. We're like, she made some good points.
Very much so.
So it was a really cool conversation. And I feel like if all filmmakers could have a chance to sit down with reviewers, like most of the time it would come out that way, as long as everybody's level-headed. So yeah, check it out. It's a good conversation.
All right, guys, we have a very special guest. Today we are joined by Lady Shasha. She was one of the very first people to review the film I Am Going to Kill Someone This Friday. Now, cool story real quick, because you got an email from Durden Godfrey, and if I'm not mistaken, no warning, not safe for work or home. The subject says, I'm going to kill someone this Friday. So thank you for being here and being alive. Thank you.
Thank you.
So, ma'am, what I want to say is this, and we're going to go and talk about the reason why we're here. I'm going to kill someone this Friday. And the one thing that I love that we're doing, because this goes both ways. A lot of times people will send their movies out to be screened, and they'll ask someone to review them. And if they don't like the review, or if they don't agree with the person, that's just it. You never see it online. So what we're doing is telling people you have to be held accountable for your art and your craft. And like when you go to court, what does it say? Face your accusers. Because if two people can't have a discussion, then what are we doing here? So we appreciate you coming on, and we love the fact that you are very open and honest, because again, that helps us learn as filmmakers. It helps us learn as writers, because even if we try to portray something, we can be like, oh, this is the smartest idea in the world. Well, if the audience didn't get how smart you were, then fuck it. It didn't matter.
Well, and I know that, like, I especially 3 years now since making it. Yeah. There's so with hindsight, I know that it's not a perfect movie. It's far from perfect. And I know that even after we finished it, it's like there were things that we wanted to achieve that weren't accomplished, and there was compromises made. And I could see that. So like then when you have people that are just like, oh, it's great, I loved it. Like, no, I want, like, you're the only reviewer that I reached out to be a part of this episode where we have the reunion for the cast and crew and everything. The reason why is because we wanted to give this movie, our movie, the same treatment that we give other movies on this channel, and hold it accountable in as far as everything. Just be honest about it, and not just we're not looking for like the sugar coating.
So let me ask you this. I'm going to jump right into it, and we're going to get right into the hard facts here. What did you hate the most about this film?
Some of the writing. because
Okay.
it looked beautiful. As I recall, I remember stating that it had a great look, especially being shot in Florida. And I mentioned that there should be more things shot in Florida, but obviously people go more to Atlanta or to New Orleans because they get a deeper tax break. But Florida is also a very beautiful scenic place to shoot in. I think I didn't like it's like a love-hate relationship. I love the character of the little black goth girl because she's a little black goth girl. We don't see a lot of variations on young black girls. It's always the little sassy girl. And it's like, yeah, that's cool. She exists, but this other little girl exists too. I didn't understand the purpose of making her into the school shooter because that's like not a thing black people do.
That was the only thing about your review that I really, it's not that I took issue with. It was just like something that I took personally because it was for me when I wrote that, it was like the exact opposite of what the intentions were. I guess how the intentions could be interpreted. It was the exact opposite. My motivations for writing that, it was more so like we're pretty much saying the exact same thing. Like this you never hear about this. So why would you do this? My thing was you never hear about this. Like oh, a black girl couldn't be a school shooter. It's like I don't want to say a black girl couldn't do anything. It was like that mentality, and it stemmed from the when I pitched the script to him, the first draft, he wanted to play Robert Partridge, and the whole premise of the movie it relied on the audience to believe that Robert Partridge was a killer. And I told him, I was like, that's just like stereotypically speaking, like in this sense, we need to lean into the stereotype. You see a white dude, bald head, troubling demeanor. He's in a horror film. This is the killer. Like we need it to be a stereotypical white guy that you would think that you would normally see as a psychopath in a movie. So no, you can't play that part. It's like we're already like trying to throw red herrings out everywhere. That's just one too many. But he has a daughter. And he's like, you could use my equipment if she gets a part in the movie. Like, wasn't it like if she can kill somebody?
No, the thing was here, and I agree with her because that's just not black people shit. Sorry, it's not. And I told him that, but that's what he was like, no, that's what makes it beautiful. That's what I'm like, dude, do your research. Yeah, we do a lot of shit, just not that shit. Everybody has their own shit. That's just not ours. But in the world that we live in now, what do we always hear? I identify as this. So everybody everything's fluid now. People get to identify. And in her mind, like she said, she's a goth girl. And when we watched the review, we actually watched the review a couple of times and we rewatched it last night. I was like, she says it. You said, listen, black girls can be anything. Like there's nothing like you see those little book bags that say I am and all this other stuff. So we were like, you know what? Let's get the conversation started. Normally this would be some white Columbine. You name it. Fuck it. Flip through the history books. It's not us. And with that being said, we're like, you know what? Fuck it. She could lose it too because she identifies, no, she's not being racially provoked. Maybe Martin Luther King was right. Black people and white people got to the point where I don't like you because you're fucking with me. I come to school every day and you treat me like shit. So I'm going to fuck everybody else up, not for my color, because you treated me like shit. And I was like, beautiful.
That's actually a very good explanation. I think what could have been done to rectify that was just a little bit more I don't want to call it character development because I felt like her character was very well developed. Maybe an additional scene to show what she was going through that was pushing her over the edge.
I agree with that. I think there could have been. That was a very challenge and balance to walk because I've never told anybody this like out loud. The point of the movie is that Robert Partridge is not the main character. Bree, Jayla, is his daughter. She's the main character. We just don't follow her through the whole movie. We're saying, look at this guy over here. Don't pay attention to her. And it was this balance the whole time to convey that. Because Robert Partridge, you see him murder a kid at the end, but that's all a metaphor. He's just dealing with some inner turmoil from a trauma that happened as a child. And that's him kind of coming to terms with that at that moment. So he's not even the murderer. He's not even the one that's going to kill somebody this Friday. It was Bree all along. It's always somebody that you never expect. It's always like, I never saw it coming. I do agree with you. The character development was a challenge to
without spilling the beans.
Yeah, because that was always the line we walked. Like we don't want her to appear even have an inclination that she's the main character, because then people will wonder why. What's the point of her? There has to be a point. And then they'll see it coming at the end. it was just all about trying to throw it off. But I do agree with you. There should have been a little bit more character development for her to get that. I mean, that's a you do what you do. That's that you critique film. So I 100% agree with that. I just saw in your notes that the wife's hair was fabulous. I did miss that on the.
Would you believe it? A man did that. A man did that. A man did her hair. Self-identifying, right? People are identifying.
A straight man.
A straight man did that. The rise of Harley. It's fucking crazy. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. So let me ask you this. Okay, so what were some of the points that you really did like about the film?
Well, as I was saying before, I like the inclusion of the goth girl character because a lot of times Black women are pigeonholed into pretty much just the best friend or the sassy Black girl. And like the nerdy Black girl exists. The goth Black girl exists. The Black girl that's in the anime exists. Well, now that you have YouTube, you see these girls now. They're out here talking to you about their experiences. So I was glad to see that because I remember the first time I met some goths, we're in the home of goths, which is like Florida. I'm pretty sure Florida's home of goth culture, but I remember meeting goths in the 90s, and they were some of the sweetest people that you ever could meet. Very thoughtful, just very, very intellectual people. So I really enjoyed that. Oh, what you were saying about how the kids identify today. In retrospect, your film might have actually been ahead of its time because I remember not too long ago saying to someone as we watched these videos of like the Black Lives Matter protests and seeing quote Black kids do things that Black kids don't do over and over. I seeing them skateboard down the street and I'm like, this is all stuff that used to not be associated with us, but now is associated with us. I think if this movie was released this year instead of 2018, I don't think people would have had the same or taken the same issues that I took with it.
We've always been this way. We've been making films for years. We're friends. We hold each other accountable. And that's why we wanted to have you on. It wasn't the people that were glad-handing us and saying, oh, you're the Kubrick of your time, or you're this, that you guys are just so great. No, tell me I love the bad reviews because it's only going to help me get better or at least learn what I'm dealing with because I don't care what I want a movie to be. If I did not convey it to my audience, I failed. That's just who I am. So I want to thank you for coming on and giving that opinion. Now, enough about us. We want to know what you got going on. You told us about what do you got coming up and where can we catch Lady Shasha at?
Oh, definitely. My home base is whatajustwatched.com and the accompanying YouTube channel. And like I said earlier, Monday nights I'm on Hood Podcasts and we just chop it up and talk about just news of the weird all over the world. We respond to a lot of social media stuff, especially TikTok has been an endless fountain of fuckery. that's what I'm going to call that. Then I also podcast with Crystal Connor on Coast to Coast Horror. And that also publishes to my channel and to Wordsmith Crystal Connor's YouTube channel. And I podcast on Mild Fuzz Movies. And that podcast is called The Sacred Hockey Mask.
Yes,
you know which hockey mask that is.
I really did enjoy this. We're like, we disclosure moment. We're like, we don't know how this is going to go, but we're going to be fine because here's the thing: if someone comes prepared and they have, I don't mind having a conversation. It's constructive criticism. It's not a tit for tat. Like, okay, this is what you don't like about us. This is what we don't like about you. Like, no, I want to know why you felt the way. And you even said, oh, I didn't know you guys meant it that way. And that helps me grow as an artist. Okay, that means the next time I make something, I don't need to spoon feed a person, but maybe develop it a little bit more. Give them a chance to be creative and take that ride with me. You know.
Well, and what you do great as a movie reviewer is that you convey well. Like, I watched the movie, I paid attention. And these are my thoughts. And you could be much more receptive to someone's opinion when they've, let you know that they actually saw what you were doing.
Exactly.
So I appreciate you taking the time to watch it and taking the time to do the review and then taking the time to come back and talk to us today about it. It really means a lot. Congratulations with your channel. And we hope success in the future and even more continued.
And don't forget to let us know when we can come on this Hood podcast. We'll be there and we'll show up and show out.
That would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Yes. Thank you very much, Lady Shasha, for being with us today.
Oh, no problem. I enjoyed talking to you both.
Hey, we'll see you soon. And next time we're going to follow your lead.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
You too.
And before we move on from reviews, I want to take a moment to appreciate another friend of the channel, Mr. James McDonald. He does his own review channel, James MCD Reviews, a friend of TTFT. He gave an awesome review of the movie when it came out. Watch the whole thing on his channel, but we're gonna play some highlights from that right now.
Hey guys, James MCD Reviews here, and today I'm doing something a little bit different. A little over a week ago, I saw a movie called I'm Going to Kill Someone This Friday. Ultimately, this movie takes you through a week in the life of a psychopath. I was lucky enough to go to the premiere in Jacksonville. I had a ton of fun. I got to meet some of the actors, and I got to sit in on a Q&A after the movie where they sat down with the director and the writer and the producer and the cinematographer and some of the actors, and they answered questions.
I would like to say, Durden Godfrey, thank you for your vision, and thank you for allowing us to be part of it.
So that was a lot of fun. I had a really great time at that. And it also helped that the movie was really, really freaking good. I really enjoyed it. As messed up as this movie can be at times, there are some really, really funny lines. I think this one has to be my favorite.
I don't care to see your goddamn hammer, Garrett.
I don't know why, it's just out of context. That line is so much fun. The cinematography is masterful. It's a beautifully shot movie. The editing as well is also really well done. The music by Dr. Jones, I believe it was, that was really good and helped add to the suspense. The direction by Godfrey was also really, really well done. And yeah, I mean, overall, I just really enjoyed the hell out of this movie.
All right, that was amazing. And with that being said, guys, also listen, when you talk about James and what he's done, if you're trying to get into the industry, and what I mean by that, I mean this saturated world that we call the internet now, and get people to promote yourself, listen, it takes hard work. And what the gentleman is doing is exactly what you need to be doing. You have to fail, you have to learn, and you have to earn. So, hey, just do it his way.
All right.
And with that being said, I've got a hard on for film, so I might as well come to attractions. Durden, take us there.
All right, we got one more special episode in October to wrap up a month of scary films. So we started off with Candyman. We're now doing our own I'm Gonna Kill Someone This Friday, and we're gonna wrap it up on Halloween night with People Under the Stairs with a very special guest, Mr. Jan Burke, the Stairmaster himself. Will be joining us for that episode, and then we will
on November 4th.
Yes, we will.
Stop it! Don't say it.
What?
We're doing it in November, but it's a Christmas movie.
It's yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Holly!
November 4th, we return to our normal scheduling program with Die Hard. Die Hard. The first one. It is a Christmas film.
It is a Christmas film. It's a present to me, even though the ambulance was not there at the beginning of the movie.
According to Hallmark, Christmas begins in November.
I just want everyone, fuck this show, fuck that film. I just want everybody to go back and see how much gas cost when that, no, not on the internet. Watch the film. Gas was like, show it now. I may be off by like 3 cents. It was like $1.93 or some shit like that, bro. Or $1.91.
Less than that. It was 98 cents when I graduated high school. 2001.
Was that before or after you
People
worked at
were
Hollywood
going
Video?
crazy when it went, oh my God, over $1?
Hey, the term I got 5 on it went out the window with that.
Guys, thank you very much for tuning in, for watching us this entire year. Again, making it a successful year for us. Thanks for watching our film tonight and being a part of this special, this celebration.
Listen, at the end of the day, all jokes aside, if you're an artist, whether you paint, whether you make films, whether you sing, listen, just do something. Life is fucking short. You can get killed tomorrow. We don't have to kill someone on Friday, but you better kill it every day that ends in Y. Hey, before we end, grab that for me so they never forget who we are. Grab that. I need a little lovable puppy. Grab that. Grab that.
Ricky?
Yeah, lovable puppy. Grab it. This is how we're going to end this one. We owe him that much. Present it, and then do a little Ken Burns effect for me right there. All right. Hey, guys. We'll see you soon.
goodbye, 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 goodbye.
Why don't you subscribe? It'll last longer.